To order. First public forum speaker is Luigi De Palma.
I'm first. That's great. Thank you. My name is Luigi De Palma, and I represent the Bunnell Alumni Bulldog Club.
Sir, we need your address.
100 Huntington Street.
Thank
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. My name is Luigi De Palma, and I represent the Bunnell Alumni Bulldog Club. Real brief, we'd like to have the field house at the Bunnell Field named after Coach Robert Mastroni. I don't know if this is where I start, but I'd like to propose that happens.
Okay. Thank you very much. The next speaker is Sarah Masso.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Masso, and I'm here in regards to a problem at the Baldwin Center under the director, Diane Petursky. I may not be pronouncing her last name correct, but I know that's what it is. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm here because there is a problem at the Baldwin Center under the direction of Diane Petursky. On May 25th, I was in the hospital for my second mastectomy. I got out of the hospital on May 26th, less than 24 hours. I was told before I went in by Laura Donovan, who's second in command, that if I needed a ride for medical purposes, to call her and she would assist me. So when I came home, 10:30 left the hospital, I only live Hollister, say 11 o'clock, I immediately called the center and asked for Lauren Donovan. And she talked to me, and she says, hold on, I'll connect you with Matt, who I believe is the dispatcher. And I said to Matt, I need a ride for June 3rd. Now this is May 26th. And he said to me, wait a minute. He says, I have to have more time. He says, you gotta get on a waiting list. I says, on a waiting list. I says, I have to go to the Yale Smilo Cancer Medical Building. He said, well, I don't know, you got to get on a list. I said to him, I don't understand this. What kind of a list? He said, well, you know the town, we got vans in the parking lot that are empty. We need drivers. They cut the budget. That has nothing to do with me. I faithfully pay my taxes. I lived here 65 years. My husband's lived here, he's deceased, almost 82 years. And he was just, to me, he was so rude. And I says, you know, I've been a member of the Baldwin Center for 20 years, and for the last 14 years, I've been the director. And what I do, I make and design all the costumes for the show. I do the mailings, I handle the cash, and I set up all the stages with the other people. And he said to me, well, I don't give you favoritism. I says, I'm not, but I'm not somebody that just walks in and out of the building and is looking for a ride to come to the bocce game or something. And I know he got distraught. He said, well, I don't know I can do it, but I'm going to tell you, if you get a ride, exact words, it's a one-time deal for you. Now, I never did nothing to anybody down the center, and I have no reason why this man should abuse me verbally, because I wasn't asking for something that nobody else could get. So he said to me, I'll have to see about it. So I knew I wasn't going to get any place with him. And I hung up, and I called Lauren back, and I says, I don't like the way Matt talked to me. Well, you got to understand, it's a budget and all that. That has nothing to do with me. All I want is a ride to the cancer center. So she said to me, I'm going to give you a number, 800 American Cancer. So I called American Cancer, did not say it was the Baldwin Center. Is that my time is up?
Go ahead. You can finish up, Sarah.
Pardon?
You can finish up, Sarah.
Okay. So I called the Cancer Society. I wouldn't say the Baldwin Center. I don't like to down people. And she said to me, I can't believe it. She says, what's your zip number? She says, there's some place on West Broad Street. They get a grant. And I thought, well, I'm looking up Marnham Avenue. She says, it's the Baldwin Center. I said, that's a place that doesn't have a ride for me. She says, I'll have a volunteer call you that afternoon, which they did. I promised my kids that I would not go back to the Baldwin Center no more. I love what I do, positively love. The Baldwin players have put the town of Stratford on the map between Channel 12, the Connecticut Post, and the internet. I have people all over the United States, they watch the shows. And I'm not saying it because I'm the director, but we make people happy. She wants us to charge. I do not want to charge the seniors. We're doing free things. All the money for material, everything comes out of my pocket. I do it because I love to do it, and I'm not going to charge when we're getting something for nothing. So anyway, what happened after that? A veteran called me. He was going to go try to get a medal for my husband, who was a 6-year Marine, World War II, 2 years in Korea. And he says, I think I can get this medal from Korea. He wanted my husband's discharge papers. So I went to the Baldwin Center that Monday against my will, gave it to Maureen, and someone came and they said, where do we sign up for the volunteer breakfast? She says, over there. I said, gee, Maureen, I didn't get an invite. She says, oh, it has to be an oversight. 14 years. I have my books and I have the invitations. I've been invited to as a volunteer to this dinner, breakfast, whatever they're having. And I went over to the lady. She said, I can't stand you up. Diane said if you don't have an invite. So Maureen went in. She said to Diane, Sarah, I got in there. Now, I don't care. I was an honor student in school, good secretary. She had a computer up to her waist. She was looking the other way at a computer. She could not be typing that fast because she'd go over the Greg thing. She's pouncing on the case. What do you want? She didn't say to me, I haven't been there since April. How are you or anything? She was already asked me. And I said to her, I didn't get an invite. She said, well, you don't qualify anymore. I said, well, where did I qualify? You come in, we have this little thing. You punch in what activity, then you go for your hours. Every single year, I have been over 500 hours. And this year, my volunteer, I says, when did it stop? And she doesn't like, she won't, if you ask her, she won't answer you nothing. And I said to her, I'm disappointed about my cancer ride that I couldn't get one. Well, you know, the town budget, all I hear is the town budget. I'm not there to discuss the town budget. And I said to her, Diane, I feel bad because I feel that I'm entitled to this. And she said to me, when I called the American Cancer Society, they said they have a grant. She could not talk. She was like a kid. Blah, 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 blah. She lost her words. Then she goes right over. Do you know that a volunteer, why they don't have them? They have to have $1 million automobile insurance. I have a paper back there from them. Nobody volunteers has to get $1 million, or I wouldn't be able to volunteer for anything. And so she said to me, you can't come. No, I want to know who is in charge. I don't need a breakfast. My husband provided for me. I can go anywhere as I want to eat, but I don't feel she's respected me. And I know she's upset because she told us one day, if you don't go upstairs and clean, this is why she doesn't like us. The fire marshal came in, and he says he's going to come 2 days, dump everything in the dumpster. I couldn't go. My husband had to go to the VA hospital. I says, I can't go. So I said to one girl, would you go down to the fire marshal? We're not saying no. I'm willing to clean whatever mess it's up there. So she went to him, and the fire marshal says, I haven't been to the center in about 9 months.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, the Human Resources Director has arrived. He's in the back row. I would appreciate it if you bring your complaint to him. He's sitting right back there, and he would be the person that could probably help you with this employee issue.
I hope so.
Can I ask Sarah's address again?
Her address is 101 Hollister Street.
Okay, I thank you very kindly.
Thank you, Sarah. I hope you're feeling better. Next speaker is Joe Paul.
Good evening, Joe Paul, 47 Harborview Place. I'll start out by just saying a few words about our senior citizens in town. It's really a travesty when we have a senior citizen that has to come up here and complain about how they're treated at the Baldwin Center. We have to be a town that treats everybody with respect, especially our seniors. That they don't need this pressure and drama. So I really hope our Human Resource Department can resolve this issue going forward. What I came here to talk about, mostly with the concern I have regarding the recent crimes that are appearing in the town of Stratford. As I knocked on doors from the lordship area throughout the town. There's crime that ranges from car thefts to, petty crimes, and now we've got 2 homicides in the town of Stratford, which is unheard of. And I know the town is a safe town, but we really need to take this seriously and look at what's happening and try to get to the bottom of it and try to make sure we do whatever we can to ensure the safety of all the families in town and to make sure we do everything possible to avoid future occurrences of crime, no matter at what level. So I just wanted to raise that. As a realtor, I'll say that there's a third element now that's starting to appear as to why people bypass Stratford. It was the taxes, then it became the education, and now you can add to that crime. They look at reports. These are very educated people, and they see the numbers, and they compare it to other towns. So we got some work cut out for us to try to improve in those 3 main areas, and I'm sure we got the right people. We're all competent. We can make sure we do a good job in addressing those issues to turn it around. Thank you very much. Good to see you all.
Thank you. Robert Levine?
Robert Levine, 46 Pamela Drive. And I'd just like to thank the council. I know that you put the Roosevelt Forest Ranger Station on the agenda for tonight. And I realize that in the past, the dog park was a unanimous decision, and we were able to cross party lines and not put any differences in front of ourselves. I'm hoping that with the Ranger Station RFP being accepted, and also the moving forward of the dog park, named Jared's Dog Park in honor of my son, can also move forward with a unanimous vote, or at least a good majority vote, so we can do something positive that would bring some light and some joy to not only the dog owners, but all of the people of the town of Stratford. I know that we've had our issues, but I do want to thank the council, those members that are running for re-election again, those that are not, but you've been very supportive of this program and this agenda, and I just hope to see it continue. So thank you very much for your consideration, and I look forward to positive outlook and moving forward with the Roosevelt Forest Ranger Station and with the dog park. Thank you.
Thank you. Edward Goodrich?
Edward Goodrich, 2320 Elm Street. Thank you, council, for serving the town of Stratford in these summer months. I know a lot of people are on vacation, and I know it's very busy, but thank you for coming and putting the time in for the town of Stratford. As you know, I was on the Shakespeare subcommittee, and I know that that's been in the works for a while. I don't know what the architectural findings are or what he's going to come up with, but I know that there's going to be monies going to be debated about what we're going to do with this. About, we're going to shore it up, we're going to do something. I think, and I'm going to be starting to come to these council meetings every month, and I think that's one very important step I think the council really has to look into, because I would hate to have this roll over until the next council setting and all the hard work that everyone's done here. I think that the one thing that this council could do is to make sure that it's on the historic registry. I think that is something that has been overlooked, but that is the ultimate point that we're getting, because that opens up the floodgates to the monies and to the recognition. So that's why we did the historic tax credit thing in the first place. Is if we're going after historic tax credits, I think we should really spend the time to make sure, well, we have these next couple months before this next cycle election, to make sure that it's on that list, because that's where the money's going to come from. And I know I'm on the Historic District Commission. I'm going to be calling the state and to look into this, to actually how to get that on that, because but that is one thing that I think that this council could come out and accomplish. Before we start rolling in, and we're going to start talking about numbers and figures and how much is going to be for this and that. But I hope we can all get together and get this approved. We can get a unanimous vote to get this on the historic registry, because that'll save and protect the building, and that'll also open up the money. So I think that that's one thing that I think everybody here can agree on as we roll into the fall months in this election season. I hope we get this done for everybody here. I know everyone's been good. They've been going to the meetings. We're very involved. A lot of information we don't know or do know. But the basic question is to get that on that historic list. And I think that'd be a great accomplishment for this council. Thank you.
Gerald Gray.
Good evening, all. I'm Gerald Gray of 29 Shoreline Drive here in Stratford. As our town and our state remain in the sewage quagmire of budget maelstroms, it has become clear that the polarization divides of the two parties, Democrat and Republican, are exacerbating the woes. I am reminded of what George Mulligan, Stratford's justice warrior, said, that there was no difference between the two parties in Stratford. The only difference was in the character and integrity, or lack thereof, that was held by individual players and actors and participants in the political arena. That certainly has been our experience in experiencing and observing the actions of players from both sides of the fence in Stratford's power plays. Certainly the underbelly of Stratford's corruption that George so valiantly exposed has proven that neither party is without its dirty players and neither party is without its dirty dealings. And I and my mother, Dolores Gray, have certainly tortuously suffered in being low-hanging fruit prey to the dirty players that run Stratford, as a massive campaign of improper, unlawful, illegal, and criminal actions have been perpetrated upon us by Town of Stratford employees, police, and politicos. And in particular, the Stratford Senior Center Baldwin, which is running a massive racketeering campaign of predation with Stratford residents in the probate court and the DSS, Adult Protective Services. As was done to George, the attempt to diminish my credibility via a campaign of retaliation in character assassination has been the chosen MO. In particular, the Stratford Star has allowed Frank Parody and Joe Pedoto Altavista, the same two effete, adult-aged, pathetic little boys that have made a campaign of attacking George, to attack me with slanderous, libelous, outrageously fabricated fake junk. While the Star has published their narcissistic, desperate, attention-seeking manure with full license, the Star does not publish my reply responses. I would like to point out that the state of Connecticut, CHRO, that being the state of Connecticut's Agency for Human Rights, has reviewed my documentation of abuse at the hands of Town of Stratford, and the commission itself has found enough merit in my abuse claims to instigate a lawsuit of their own against the town. Of course, Stratford citizens' taxes will have to pay for the service of the Stratford attorneys in this case, this being Bertram, Moses, and Devlin taxes that pay towards the millions that town contracted attorneys get for defending the town employees, including police, for their perpetrations of misconduct upon the citizens of Stratford. I got here late, so I did not hear anything Ms. Masso said, but I wanted to point out to everyone that Stratford, Sarah Masso has been my mother's lifelong oldest and dearest friend. They went to St. Charles Catholic School in Bridgeport together and Harding High together. And Ms. Masso can certainly corroborate everything I have ever said about Nature's Way and my mother's and my co-participation in creation of that business, unlike the attacks that have been just heaped upon us, denying my credibility. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Scheck.
Good evening. Mark Scheck, 161 Birdseye Street, Stratford, Connecticut. I'll keep it short and sweet. I knocked on about 500 doors in the last 2 weeks. And the one thing citizens have said over and over again, tax relief, tax relief, tax relief. Our mill is at historic, a historic rise. What do? Do we just keep, I've said this multiple times, do we just keep raising? When's the mill gonna be at 45? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? Older ladies were crying to me saying that they're scared their houses are going to be taken away. You know, Saturday we had a shooting, someone died. Again, what type of town are we living in? And then also with the school scores, 69% of the children failed math. Not the other way around, but failed math. The SBAC scores are a disgrace. How do we do this? How do we lower the mill? I think there's a few of you that have worked hard on it. A few of you have blocked it because I think it's partisanship. And I think it's time for a new council. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Frank Parity?
My name is Frank Parity. I live at 798 East Broadway. The rumors of my demise are greatly exaggerated. As you can see, I'm quite conscious and aware. And actually, I'm glad I'm here. I have no idea what I said to upset the Ms. Gray, but I suppose freedom of speech is not something that some people can grasp. But I wish you all luck. I don't know what you're going to get accomplished without enough people here. Fortunately, I hope you can get things accomplished over the next so many months. I don't even know if the mayor is here. Is the mayor here?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. I apologize. Oh, that's okay. It's usually no lawyers. I mean, it's a stripped-down version of tonight's meeting. Good luck with everything, everybody. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers? Okay. Okay. If you can sign the sheet.
No.
That's all right.
I can write it down. I'll just keep it. Someone take it away. That's all right. I got it, Lisa.
My name is Lisa Kasak, 50 Birdseye Street, Stratford. This is totally unrehearsed. As you see, I just walked in. But it's something that is all over the 2 local newspapers, and it's about the baseball field, which I do not know the name of, in Bridgeport, being shut down, and a theater being put up, which they're going to have like 27 different shows a year of different things. I mean, do I have to say anything more than just that? We have a theater here which is known around the world. Well, nobody has done anything but argue, no agreements. I've been involved with that theater when, what's his name, was still alive, the Stratford Shakespeare thing, David Reed. And I thought things were going to happen then. Some people didn't like this Shakespeare Hotel. It was never a hotel, it was an inn. And something has to be done. That is the answer to the mill rate in this town, and all of the business and all of the associated things that that's going to bring. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to recess the public forum. The public still has until 7:15 to sign up, at which point we'll come in again at 7:15. If no one's signed up, then we will adjourn the public forum.
Mr. Chase, 5 minutes into the public forum, so it'd be 7:30.
Mr. Allen, would you like to respond?
If you actually read the council rules of order, they say that the sign-up ends 45 minutes before the start of the meeting. So actually 7:15 is when the second sheet should be picked up. The meeting's supposed to start at 8. So yeah, we had that.
We are adjourned. Order. Ms. Antezo, please sit down. Are there any other speakers listed? There being none, this forum is is adjourned until 8 o'clock for the regular council meeting.